Have you ever felt a bit stuck?
Mm.
Or maybe just going through the motions, like without a real sense of where you're heading?
Oh, definitely. It's a common feeling.
And we always hear this term personal growth thrown around. It's everywhere. Self-help books, work seminars.
Right, the buzzword.
Exactly. But what does it really mean? Is it just jargon? Or is there something deeper, something fundamental to living a better life?
That's such a great question to kick us off, because, yeah, it's definitely more than just a trend. It's pretty foundational, really, for finding meaning and, well, success.
Absolutely. So welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today our mission is, well, to cut through that noise. We want to unpack what personal growth truly is at its core.
And crucially, why it matters, why it's so vital for, navigating everything life throws at us.
We're hoping to give you a clearer picture, maybe even some ideas for your own journey.
And to do that, we've gathered insights from quite a few places. We've got stuff from Indeed, Shopify, practical career advice from LinkedIn, too.
Yeah, and even an academic piece on mindful self-care. So a real mix.
A good stack. Should give us a pretty rounded view.
Okay, let's dive in then. When these sources talk about personal growth, what is it? Like the absolute essence?
Well, fundamentally, it keeps coming back to this idea of a continuous journey, a journey of self-discovery and improvement.
Continuous, so not like a final destination.
Exactly. It's often described as a lifelong process, improving your mind, your body, your spirit, all aimed at reaching your full potential.
Okay.
So think maturing, expanding your life somehow, developing capabilities, picking up new skills, but also just understanding yourself and the world better.
So it's way more than just, say, learning Excel for a job, right? It sounds more holistic, like evolving as a whole person, maybe cultivating a certain mindset.
That's exactly it. It's not just skill acquisition. It's about deliberately pushing your boundaries, taking intentional steps towards becoming, well, a better version of yourself.
Intentional steps.
Yeah. It's definitely not a one-off thing, not a quick fix. It's this ongoing conscious process that really shapes who you become over time.
That's interesting. And, something that really jumped out from the sources was the emphasis on the word personal. Why is that word so important here? Why is it key for change that actually lasts?
Ah, yes. That's fascinating, isn't it? The core idea seems to be that growth that sticks is growth you own.
Growth you own.
Yeah. If you don't have your own clarity on what growth means to you specifically, well, you risk just chasing what someone else thinks success looks like.
Which sounds like a recipe for burnout.
Precisely. That personalization is critical because your why, your own reasons, your values, that becomes your motivation engine. Your goals feel relevant. They actually mean something to you. And the way you measure success makes sense for you. That's what keeps you going.
That really lands.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. Okay, so if it's personal and it's multifaceted, our sources break it down, right, into different areas or domains.
They do, yeah. Generally, we see about 5 key areas popping up consistently.
5. Okay, what are they?
So first up is physical growth. This is about intentionally improving your lifestyle. Think better sleep, digestion, energy levels, maybe endurance, staying hydrated.
The basics, but crucial.
Absolutely. And exercise fits here too. Studies consistently show how physical activity positively impacts mental health, not just physical.
Right, and often feeling better physically sort of opens the door for other kinds of growth, doesn't it?
It really does. Which leads nicely into the second area. Emotional growth.
Okay.
Emotional, yeah. This is all about proactively understanding and, importantly, managing your feelings. It's basically developing your emotional intelligence.
EQ, right?
Exactly. Being able to identify and handle your own emotions, understand others' emotions better. It enhances empathy, improves your relationships. Big stuff.
Definitely big stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so physical, emotional, what else?
Then there's a deeper layer, you could say. The third domain is spiritual growth.
Spiritual, does that mean religious?
Not necessarily, no. It's more about connecting with your core values, your sense of purpose. Things like meditation or just quiet reflection can really foster this.
Gotcha. Makes sense. What's number 4?
Fourth is social growth. This focuses on building and nurturing positive relationships, family, friends, professional networks.
The people around us.
Exactly. And it's really important for combating things like social isolation or loneliness, which the research suggests can be really detrimental to overall well-being.
Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, social. Well, what's the last one?
The fifth one is mental or intellectual growth.
Ah, the brain stuff.
Pretty much actively developing your cognitive skills. So continuous learning, reading challenging things, puzzles, even trying new hands-on activities. Basically anything that exercises your brain, keeps it sharp, fosters creativity.
Okay, wow, that's a comprehensive picture. Physical, emotional, spiritual, social, mental.
Yeah.
So why should we really care about juggling all these areas beyond just, feeling a bit better? What are the real tangible payoffs?
Well, the payoff is huge, honestly. Personal growth isn't just a nice to have. It's pretty essential for a genuinely fulfilling life. It impacts, like, everything. Your career, relationships, health.
Okay, break that down. Where does it start?
It really starts with increased self-awareness. That's the foundation. Understanding yourself better lets you make more informed decisions, set goals that actually fit, and recognize what drives you or what holds you back.
Right, knowing yourself. That sounds foundational, but how does that actually build, say, confidence? Is there a direct link our sources talk about?
Oh, absolutely. When you gain that self-awareness and then you use it to acquire a new skill or overcome a challenge you thought you couldn't, that success directly builds a sense of accomplishment.
Okay, I see.
And that accomplishment naturally boosts your confidence and self-esteem. It empowers you. You feel more capable of tackling new things, taking opportunities you might have shied away from before.
Makes sense. And relationships. You mentioned that earlier with emotional growth.
Yes, huge impact there. Improved relationships. As you develop that emotional intelligence, better communication skills, more empathy, your connections with others just become stronger, healthier, more authentic. You get better at managing your own reactions, navigating tricky social stuff. It just smooths things out.
Yeah, I can see that. And what about work, our careers?
Mm-hmm.
Does personal growth translate into, like, better job prospects beyond just adding a skill to the CV?
Definitely. It significantly enhances career prospects and workplace impact. It helps you perform better right where you are, makes you more adaptable to change, and positions you for advancement.
How so?
Well, think about improving communication or leadership skills, for example. Our sources show that directly leads to more effective networking, better team collaboration, and often faster career progression.
Okay.
And in the workplace itself, employees focused on growth can, save time and resources, produce higher quality work. It boosts morale, even retention. It's got this positive ripple effect.
Wow, that's a significant return on the effort.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Well, it also directly promotes better health and well-being. Often, focusing on growth naturally steers you towards healthier habits overall. Better physical health, better mental health.
Right.
They often go hand in hand.
Right.
And maybe most critically, it fosters resilience and a growth mindset. This is that core belief that your abilities aren't fixed, that you can develop them through dedication and hard work.
The whole, I can get better at this idea.
Exactly. It encourages you to embrace challenges, see failures as learning opportunities rather than, reasons to give up. It makes you less likely to be derailed by setbacks.
This all sounds incredible, like a clear path to a much better, more engaged life. But, okay, for someone listening who feels maybe a bit overwhelmed or unsure where to even begin, what are some practical starting points? Our sources had tips, right?
Loads of them, yeah. A really solid core strategy that comes up a lot is setting SMART goals.
Ah, the acronym. Specific,
Mm-hmm.
measurable.
Achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Exactly. It's a framework that forces you to break down big, maybe fuzzy objectives into concrete, manageable steps. It gives you direction, keeps you motivated.
Can you give an example?
Sure, instead of just like, I want to be healthier, a SMART goal might be, I will walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week for the next 2 months.
That's awesome.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to health, and time-bound.
Got it. That clarity seems really helpful. But setting goals is one thing. Sticking to them is another. What else helps?
Another big one is fostering continuous learning and openness. Really embracing the idea of learning new things, whether it's totally outside your field or just pushes your comfort zone a bit.
How do you do that practically?
Could be anything. Reading books or articles, taking an online course, pursuing a hobby more seriously, traveling, trying a new activity. The key really is cultivating what they call a beginner's mind. Being receptive, curious, avoiding assumptions like, oh, I won't be good at that, or that's not for me.
Okay, be open.
Yeah.
But how do we know what to learn or where we need to grow? Is it just a feeling?
That's where self-reflection and awareness become so crucial. This is about intentionally looking inward.
How? Like meditation.
That's one way. Another common suggestion is journaling. Regularly writing down your thoughts, feelings, what happened during the day.
Hmm.
It helps you spot patterns in your behavior, understand your reactions better. It's about taking dedicated time to know yourself better, your strengths, weaknesses, what energizes you, what drains you.
So really checking in with yourself.
Okay.
What about the day-to-day stuff, the habits that underpin everything?
Absolutely vital.
Yeah.
Building healthy habits and prioritizing self-care. This means consciously choosing what's good for you. Things like managing your time effectively, maybe turning off notifications for focused work, batching similar tasks, getting enough sleep is huge, exercise, of course, maintaining supportive social connections.
And relaxation.
Yes, making time for activities that genuinely help you relax and recharge. It's not an indulgence, it's necessary. Some sources even mention waking up early as a way to boost productivity and set a positive tone, though that might not work for everyone.
Right. Find what works for you. And presumably, we don't have to do all this in isolation.
Not at all. Seeking support and cultivating a positive mindset are also key strategies. Finding a mentor, maybe a coach, career coach, life coach, whatever fits. Even just sharing your goals with supportive friends or family can provide accountability.
And the mindset piece.
That's about actively working on your internal state. Practicing gratitude, using positive affirmations or self-talk, genuinely believing in yourself and your ability to grow, having faith in the process.
Okay, lots of practical stuff there. But you mentioned earlier, growth often involves pushing boundaries. It isn't always easy or comfortable. One source talked about growth through discomfort.
Yeah.
How do we navigate that? Like, how do you know if you're pushing constructively versus just heading for burnout? Is there a line?
That's a really important distinction. What's fascinating is the consistent message that real growth, personal and professional, actually requires embracing discomfort. Stepping outside that comfort zone isn't just optional, it's often the catalyst.
So discomfort is good.
It can be a powerful teacher, yeah. Think about conquering a fear, like public speaking, or learning a totally new, complex skill, or taking on a leadership role that feels intimidating. These things are uncomfortable, but that's where the growth happens. There's this great lion's courage analogy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, suggesting that even if a lion fails in its hunt, like 70% of the time, its determination and resilience allow it to survive and thrive. The key difference between that kind of growth, discomfort, and burnout seems to be intentionality and self-compassion.
Intentionality, yeah.
You choose the discomfort for a specific growth purpose, and you balance it with rest and self-care. Burnout often stems from relentless, maybe unexamined pressure, often external, without that balance or sense of agency.
Okay, so those uncomfortable moments aren't just pain. They're like resistance training for your character, strengthening that muscle.
That's a great way to put it. But let's be real, there are still common challenges people hit, right? Pitfalls on the journey?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Things like procrastination, that nagging self-doubt, fear of failure, sometimes setting goals that are just too big too soon. Lack of consistency is a big one. And yes, burnout is a real risk if you don't manage that discomfort well.
So these are normal bumps in the road.
Very normal.
Yeah.
But the key perspective shift is seeing them not as dead ends, but as opportunities. Opportunities to learn, adapt, and strengthen that muscle for the next challenge. Real growth takes time, consistency, and yeah, navigating setbacks is just part of the deal.
Okay. So knowing it's a long game and there will be challenges, how do people stay motivated? What did the sources say about keeping that fire lit?
A really practical tip is to celebrate small wins. Seriously, acknowledge every step forward no matter how tiny it seems.
Why is that so important?
Because it actually triggers positive chemical reactions in your brain. It boosts morale, reinforces your commitment, creates this positive feedback loop that makes you want to keep going.
Little dopamine hits for progress.
Kind of, yeah. Other things include visualizing what success looks like for you, actively surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people, and tracking your progress. Seeing tangible evidence that you are moving forward, even slowly, is incredibly motivating. It helps you learn, adjust, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive really paints a picture of personal growth, not as some endpoint we reach, but as this continuous, intentional journey across all these different parts of ourselves: physical, emotional, spiritual, social, mental.
Exactly. And it all comes back to understanding your unique why, your personal reasons, and then taking consistent action towards that for a life that feels more confident, more fulfilling, and ultimately more impactful.
In connecting it all, maybe the most profound takeaway isn't just about ticking off goals. Maybe it's about cultivating that inner strength, that flexibility, that lion's courage you mentioned.
Right. The courage to actually embrace the discomfort that comes with growth, to learn from every single setback, and to keep redefining what better means for you personally as you move through different seasons of life.
So the question for everyone listening becomes, what stands out to you now? How might you approach your own unique growth journey, especially when you inevitably hit those moments of discomfort? Something to think about.